They walk into a room and they fill a room automatically, so quickly. I remember asking Lennox why he needed such a big entourage, and he said, Trish, in his Canadian accent, the twang, he said, one man looks after my fuel, looks after my food. He said, one man looks after, the body work, the paint work, and how I look on the outside. And I said, Lennox? He said, yeah. I said, can I look after your gear stick? Oh, we both laughed that day.
Everybody's in the ring, and then you see like 4 or 5 men standing behind going, well done, man, well done, well done. Who is he? We've never seen him before, and he's got the sunglasses, yes man, and going, my friend is my. All of them clap, and then the thing is, it's a free-for-all.
Some guys like to hear, oh, champ, 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 champ. That's not good for me. That gives you, to me, that would give me a false sense of security.
I had people around me, I didn't know half of them, but then I'd get them in free clubs and all hanging out all the time after fight parties. And some of them you think that you're your friends, they're not your friends, they're just around you for what they can get.
As well as a cutsman and all the other boxing guys a heavyweight requires, Tyson will use members of his entourage to make sure their man wins.
Tyson uses some of his entourage as weapons, like Crocodile. Now, he's fired Crocodile, but I think Crocodile may be back there the time the fight happens.
He's the greatest fighter of our era! We will prove it Saturday night!
But what did Crocodile do for him? As much as people looked at him, the outsiders look at him and say, oh, he's a nut, he's loud and we don't want him around it. He would actually get to some fighters.
Boxing is probably 10% physical and 90% mental. And a lot of the attitude that comes in is the old bully attitude. If you can frighten the guy before the fight, if you can get him so scared, the fight's easy. And Mike Tyson relies on that a lot.
People have been waiting for the Lewis-Tyson fight for the last 5 years. But in New York, in January, Tyson jeopardized the bout when he lost his rag at a press conference, dubbed the grapple in the apple.
Tyson came out into the podium, Lewis came out to the podium, they were standing there face to face, and suddenly Tyson stepped off his podium, threw off his beret, and got right in front of Lewis, threw a left hook at the bodyguard, and then all hell broke loose. After about 5 minutes, Tyson came out of the melee and he starts making threatening gestures, and we were all repulsed, really. And I just yelled, put my hands up, and I yelled, boo, and Tyson immediately turned around and saw me say it. And he kept watching me, and I was still bothered by what he did, and I did it again, and I yelled, put him in a straitjacket, and he was still looking at me. He just totally disgraced the sport of boxing right there.
You can't touch me, you're not man enough. I eat your asshole alive, bitch.
According to Lewis, there were telltale bite marks on his legs.
It's like just watching a dog barking through a fence.
Mike Tyson bit me. All he did was help me prepare for him, because I don't like getting bit. And you could say he draw the first blood, and then I'm going to draw the second blood. He let the dog out at the press conference, but hopefully he'll keep the dog in when we step into the ring.
You don't know how much of it's publicity and how much is like, but I mean now, the press conferences now always end up in a punch-up. I mean, how true is it?
It was not staged. Look at it carefully, understand it. I'm not being funny. I've been in boxing quite a long time. I've never seen someone stage a thing like that. You know what I mean? Because boxing doesn't need to see 2 fighters going on like that and punching each other and crowds hangers on and all getting involved with it. You don't need that.
The fight always starts long before the referee says box. And this is all part of the game. Intimidation, or I'm standing my ground. Here I am, I'm going to be in your face. Intimidation.
To put 2 heavyweights together, especially Tyson, he's going to flip where you're standing up there looking at him. If you want some? Yeah. And then they say, oh, this fight should, they said, oh, the fight shouldn't go on, or it should ban Tyson. You knew this was going to happen.
Coming up.
I've had a few right-handers in my time, and it must be like a sledgehammer being slung at you by Jeff Capes or something.
If he's that scared, if he's ding-ding round one, he's that scared. He'll ding-ding. He's supposed to go forward, he'll ding-ding and go under the ropes and run away.
Tyson's never seen a boxer like Lennox Lewis. It's going to be a shock for him when he steps in the ring with me.
Let all the British fans know, especially my fans in Brixton, that I won't let them down, and I'll give you the best that I have.
The biggest fight in history is on. The boxers are locked away in their training camps in final preparation for the defining bout of their lives. Tyson's the underdog, but if he is back to his best, Lewis had better be prepared for all-out war.
Tyson's a, you know what I mean, ding-ding, round one, out to get you. He's not just a mauler, but he's a thinking mauler. He's very, very difficult to fight. Short guy, big arms, punches hard with every punch that he throws, you know what I mean, and difficult for a big man to fight him.
But Tyson has this thing, right, where he'll get you against the ropes or in the corner, and he will go down like he's digging for coal, and he will come up, and it's like the signature punch, and it's just like, oh. And I remember he hit this guy. This guy's whole face turned upside down when he hit him, and from that blow, everybody knew. Every time Tyson goes down for dig for coal, call it a day. He will take you out with that blow.
There's no doubt that Lennox packs a punch too. Taking a hit from a heavyweight champion is not something most of us put on our things-to-do list every day.
I wouldn't like to be behind one of them punches if they were connected to my head. No, dear.
I've had a few right-handers in my time, you know, and it must be like a sledgehammer being slung at you by Jeff Capes or something, you know. It's just incomprehensible, I would say. You know, them big cranes with the big concrete things swinging him into the house, you know, the demolition job. And for a man to humanly take them punches is incredible.
I punched with 4 tons of pressure, and I fought at super middleweight, 168 pounds. These men are 30, 40 pounds heavier than I was, so they then have to be punching with twice the amount of pressure. And if you were to walk in to the arena a second after I threw the punch, you would have said, well, he has to have hit him with a sledgehammer. They shake like that. They get to 10, you're out. Fun game, huh?
Boxers don't save their best punches for fight nights. They have to practice. And some of the more unlucky pugilists are brought into training camps as sparring fodder. But a few years back, a young cruiserweight from Tyneside totally disarmed Mike Tyson when he turned up for his ritual beating in Atlantic City.
They were paying my fare to go out there, and I took a suitcase and a hold all with my head guard and that on. I got to Atlantic City and my suitcase did not arrive at the airport. With my last £10, I had to go down the Army Navy stores on the Atlantic City boardwalk and all I could afford was some white plimsolls, a pair of white Army Navy shorts and a white vest. So I turned up to fight to spar with the most feared man on the planet, like a milk bottle with some Army Navy plimsolls on. So I think he was quite surprised. I think I did all right the first year because he was laughing so much he couldn't hit me.
It may come as something of a shock that Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson had already had a fight. They sparred together in the mid-80s, but Lennox hadn't done his homework and he wasn't prepared for a war.